So today I am going to be demoing the new, let me put my glasses on so I can tell you what this is. Like I just took them off, but they're clear, so I can't find them when I don't have them on. It's the new NYX Professional Makeup Make 'em Wonder Soft Matte Buildable Foundation. So there you go. And I have it in the shade 08 Vanilla. We'll see how good of a match it is. And then I will do an update at the end of the video. It'll let you know how well it wore. So first things first, I'll start with my skincare. So I already used the Prequel cleanser to clean my face. So now I am using the NYX 70. It's a milky toner. So I put a bunch of this on and put it all over my face. I have pretty normal skin with some real dryness like through here and like right through here. But then of course my T-zone is oily, um, but not super oily. But I live in Maine and it's February in Maine, which means it's frigid. And so there's crazy electric heat everywhere, which really dries your skin out. So I give that a minute to soak in. Um, I have been really on a journey to start to take care of my skin really well. I have lost 200 pounds, I would say about 22 years ago, and have pretty much kept it off. Of course, I put like 40 pounds on during COVID and I took that back off. But it has caused two things to happen. One, I have this lovely turkey neck action going on because at one point my neck was 24 inches around. It's now like 11. So I don't know. I need to find somebody to do something about this because in the summer I can't wear turtlenecks to cover it. So, but it's also made my skin a lot looser than it would be. I am going to be 58 on the 24th of February, but I still feel like it would have been a little tighter had I not gained so much weight and then lost so much weight that just, my skin's a little looser than it would have been. All right, so the next thing I'm using is the Prequel Half and Half. It is an amazing texture for a moisturizer, and see that it's just a little bit runny, but it just feels so good. But I don't use a separate eye cream. I just put this all over. Um, at night, I use those little under eye patch things with whatever they have in them, and I leave them on, fall asleep with them on. They fall off. That way, my eyes soak in everything. Now, if you notice, I have really deep set eyes and they're hooded. They always have been. I can remember being 15, learning how to put on eyeshadow, and I was like, where am I supposed to put it? My eyelids are gone when I look up. So, but I have learned over the years. And then, of course, I went to cosmetology and esthetician school back in, I'm going to say 2008, and I learned a lot more there. So, all right. So I don't have a fancy little fan like Jackie Alves has. I need to get one. So I have to wait a little bit for this to soak in. And then I'm going to use a primer. The primer I'm going to use is actually an Il Makiage primer. I'm not a fan of their makeup. It really looks awful on my skin. Their color matching process, amazing, but the texture of it it just like emphasizes every little bit of texture I have, and it's just awful. So um, throughout this video, you're going to see me be a bad person. I smoked for many, many years. 2014, I started vaping. Um, it has helped me tremendously, but I'm so addicted to the flavors. It does help me to not eat candy, but it's not healthy for you. So don't do it, but you're going to see me do it throughout the video. Okay, so that has dried down pretty well. Like maybe I can get somebody to help me edit the vaping out. That would be preferable. So the primer, I'm only putting on the places where I feel like is super textured. This primer is, I forget what it's called. I'll look at it in a second here. And but it makes your skin feel like satin through there, like silky. And so I put it in the places where I'm super textured to help fill in the pores and lines and such. Let me see what this stuff is called. It is, oh, it's called No Filter Poreless Base Smoothing Primer. Makes sense. This is actually really good. The makeup, do not like it at all. So, all right. Now to this. Not a big, huge fan of the packaging, but it's a $14 drugstore makeup. Um, my favorite is Dior Backstage. My hands are so slippery I can't open it now. My favorite is Dior Backstage, but it's pretty pricey. So my goodness, I cannot get that lid off. Come on. But I want to try something that's like a everyday type deal. So yeah, it's like a little squeeze bottle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it like that on the back of my hand. I like the consistency of it because it is a little bit runny, which means that it's not going to be like pasty on my face. So I am going to use a um, foundation brush and put this on. So I have to use my mirror because I cannot see. So I always start in the very center. Now that looks really light, right? But I will tell you that it was the closest match that they had. Now they do have 40 shades. So I put this on my eyelids. Use that as my eyelid base. Okay, so it is starting to blend out here. I can feel that it is drying down very quickly, so you do not have a lot of time to work with this. So keep that in mind. You can't dilly-dally while you're trying to blend this out. You do not have time to dilly-dally. So let me just get this here. Move my turtleneck out of the way. Blend it down into my neck. I do have a very red neck. Haha, no pun intended. That is due to a tanning bed when I lived in Germany. They put in brand new bulbs and I didn't heed the warning and it like scarred my neck. It was just really bizarre. Anyway, so the next thing that I do is I take one of these sponges. It's a non-latex sponge. It's you can use this with you can do this with a beauty blender, but I like to go and just sort of smush everything in. Smush, that's a technical word, but it really helps So you get the makeup set, especially when you have wrinkles. You want to make sure that it gets in all the little nooks and crannies so that it's not just riding along the top. So my nose looks a little weird, so I'm going to just add a little bit more there. I think I drug too much of it off my nose. And like I said, I do have your typical oily T-zone, so if the makeup's going to get pulled off of anywhere, that's where it's going to pull off. The other nice thing about using a sponge or a beauty blender afterwards is if there's any like excess built up anywhere, it will remove that. So that looks pretty good. Let me just go back a tiny bit and fix my nose here. Blend it out and go back and just make sure that that is even. Now, this isn't the best lighting in the world. I am in a hotel room. I drive a motor coach for a living, so I am on the road most of the time. I have a college team here for some national competition. They're a swimming diving team. So who knows? I may have the next Olympic star, swimming star on my bus today. So, but we're here for 4 days, and so I'm doing this from a hotel. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is my eyebrows. My eyebrows are tattooed. They have always been clear blonde along with my eyelashes. So that makes for quite the thing my whole life. I've never had eyebrows. When I discovered someone that could tattoo my eyebrows on, and now it's not it's not that microblading. It's actual tattoo or permanent makeup. Oh boy, you can see the foundation on the back of my hand. I'm covering that tattoo, right? Little protein iced coffee there. Okay, so eyebrows. This is my favorite eyebrow pencil right now. It is glasses again. What is this? This is, boy, I use it so much I can barely read it. Okay. Revlon Color Stay Micro Brow Pencil, and in the color taupe. So, and it has the little spoolie on the end here. So, glasses back off, magnifying mirror. Now, of course, the first thing I'm going to do is there are blonde hairs over the tattoo or the permanent makeup. So I'm just going to go ahead and brush at those just so that they are not wild, because people get close enough to you, they can see the hairs. Then I'm just going to go in real quick and just give a little color back, especially since I went over my eyebrows with the foundation. So just want to make them look like they're actually there and not gray. Um, and if you have the same issue I do, or if you're just, getting up in age as I am as well, and your eyebrows just aren't as thick as they used to be, do not be afraid of permanent makeup, but do your research. Find someone who knows what they're doing, who isn't going to give you an eyebrow like a ball and chain eyebrow from the 90s or something, because eyebrow styles change throughout the decades. And you want to have something that is a good template that you can like tweak as the styles change, but that still looks good in the moment. So I think that looks pretty good. And as you know, your eyebrows are sisters, they're not twins. But I have real issues with wanting mine to be twins. I'm not I'm not very good at the I have a lot of OCD that goes along and diagnosed OCD, but it's not like it's not so bad that it's debilitating for me. But it goes along whenever you have ADHD, you usually have OCD as well. Um, but you know, it's not it's not debilitating in my everyday life. So throw my glasses on again. I'm on strike for my contact lenses right now. I was in a pageant last year, which, by the way, I am Miss Senior World Maine of 2025. So, but after the nationals, I was on strike for contacts. I'm like, I'm not wearing contacts for like 6 months. I just don't want to wear them. I'm so sick and tired of eye drops and putting them in and taking them out and finding my glasses and doing this and doing that. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just wearing glasses all winter. Now, once summer comes around, I'm going to go back to contacts because you start sweating, your glasses go down your nose all day long. And anytime you go in anywhere, it's air conditioned, they fog up, you can't see a thing. So definitely going to go back to contacts. But okay. So next thing I'm going to do is my wonderful friend Jackie Alf sent me the, just making sure it wasn't upside down, her beauty bar palette. Um, this thing is amazing. I had it in my cart, was going to order it from her, but she did send it to me as a gift. So I just want to give her props for that. I mean, this thing is amazing. There is just all kinds of neat stuff in here. And I actually am not going to use anything else on my face other for blush or eyes or anything except for what is in this palette. So that'll be fun. Um, so the first thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to grab a little bit of this lighter shade right here. It's a lighter, sort of a bronzer with a big fluffy brush. And I am going to, not that magnifying of a mirror, just a little bit. I am going to go in and just kind of do parts of my eyelid here. I just want to make sure that I get it up here because since I do have these deep set hooded eyes, eyeshadow has to go up here, not down here. I mean, I still put it down here, but it has to be up here. If it's not up here, it doesn't do anything for me. So, okay. And I think that looks pretty stinking good. So then I'm going to switch to a smaller fluffy brush here. There we go. This one, it's a Real Techniques brush. I have no idea what it is, but you can see it's how it's shaped. Use whatever brush you like. But I am going to switch to the darker shade, and I am just going to go in on the corners and just kind of pack that in there. Give my eyes, give it some shape, some depth. There we go. working a little cat eye type style, just so that I lift my, because you can see that my eyes naturally are very downturned. So I just want to go in and give the illusion of the upward angle on my eyes here. So, but this would make sure I get it on the lid as well. And don't worry, it looks like I'm going all crazy over everywhere, and I am, but that's okay because I want to clean it up with the concealer at the end. Another lovely trick I have learned from Ms. Albus. Jackie is amazing with that stuff. And if you were to become one of her beauty besties as a paid subscriber, she can do a Zoom call with you if you're too far away from Phoenix or Yuma, Arizona, um, and give you pointers on doing your own makeup. So, all right, so I've got that on. So now I am going to grab a blender here. I have way too many brushes. There we go. So now I'm just going to go back and blend this out so that it doesn't look like I have two sections of stripes on my eyes. Like so. Okay. Good, good, good. The next thing is the this kind of a brush. It's sort of a, there we go, sort of an eyeliner type brush. I am going to use that to do the underneath of my eyes here. And I'm going to use that same darker shade right there that I used on the outer corners. And I am just going to go in, make the weird face. You have to make the weird face and get your cheek out of the way. But my husband always said the funniest thing he's ever seen me do is put mascara on. And you have to admit that is pretty funny. Because you do some strange things. Most people end up opening their mouths, like when you're trying to put mascara on. It's funny. I never really paid attention to it until he said that to me, and I started watching myself when I was doing it, and I was like, oh my God. And I do it in the car quite often, mascara. And I think to myself, how many people have seen me? And now I don't do it when I'm driving, but I'll like be in a parking lot and be like, oh, okay, let me put my mascara on because I didn't have time to do that at home, blah, blah, blah. So I started putting on my mascara in the car. And I wonder how many people have driven by me thinking, what in the world is this chick doing? And I'm like, So now I pay attention to that. I'm like, oh, I see somebody pull in the parking lot behind me or something. I'm like, oh, I got to stop. I don't want them to think I'm a weirdo. Of course, they were just, if they knew me, they'd know I was a weirdo. They wouldn't have to think. Um, so, but I am just sort of trying to connect the two parts of my lower eyelid and my upper eyelid here. Okay, so done with that part. Now I'm going to go in with a blush, a regular angled blush brush. This is probably it's probably an e.l.f. blush brush, most likely. I hello. I am going to use this dark shade that looks red. Super highly pigmented this stuff is, so be very careful. So I'm going to take it and I'm just going to go boop, boop, no more. And I'm going to put it on the high part of my cheek and pull it up the corners. Boop, boop. And again, high part of my cheek and pull it up to my temple. Now you can see how incredibly pigmented that is. But don't worry, it will get tone down here shortly. Alrighty, so next in my bag of tricks is going to be, this is my, I got this set from like Temu, I think, and it says Menage or something on the front, or Mange, I don't know. But it came in this nifty little thing, and it's got all these face brushes, and then it's got eye and lip brushes as well, and a little mirror. But so I used this one because of the way it's shaped. It's perfect for contours. So I'm going to go into the really dark one, believe that or not. A couple little taps. And I'm going to put this right where the hollow of my cheek would be. So it's like just barely under my cheekbone. See that? Super dark looking right now, but don't worry. Trust the process. Like Jackie likes to say, just trust the process. So there we go. Okay. Now, and I'm also going to take this and I'm going to put it from here just underneath my jawline. Sort of give it a little shadow, sort of fool your eye. And a little baby gels right here. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit on the little baby gels. Just like so. And then kind of disguise my little turkey gobbler. And blend that in. And then I'm going to take this side and I'm going to blend these together. See a spot where I still need some blush that I sort of was a little high. I'm not putting anything else on the brush. I'm just adding it to that section right there where I left kind of a white stripe between the two. There we go. Back to this fluffy side. I'm going to blend those together. Same with this side. We're blending and we're blending. Anybody watch Big Bang Theory when they're doing their makeup for Comic-Con, and Raj is doing it and he's like, and we're blending and we're blending, and it cracks me up every time. So I bought a car that has one of those tailgates that opens with your foot, and my husband and I both call it wallowitzing the back door, the trunk, because he bought his wife an SUV or a minivan or something that was supposed to do that, and they couldn't kick underneath it the right way to make the tailgate open, and it just cracks me up every time I do it. I think, oh, Wallowitz. If you don't watch that show, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but those of you who do, you know it. So, okay. Now it's time for the concealer. So, I find my concealer brush here. So, super fluffy brush, about yay big. I couldn't tell you what brand this is. I got it for Christmas from some people, and they work wonderfully. So this is an e.l.f. concealer. Not a huge fan, but the thing I do is take a little bit, put it on the back of my hand, and then I use this Ulrichsen, again with the glasses. Okay, it's an Ulrichsen, it's an eye brightener. It's like a color corrector. The color is banana, and it's very emollient. emollient. You know the word I'm trying to say. Take that and I just put it right where my under eyes have the most blue color to them. That's why I use the color banana, because it helps to counteract and color correct that blue. Opposite of blue, yellow. So, and I'll put some of the concealer in there, and my little magnifying mirror out again, and I just put it right here on both sides, and then just sort of, ooh, got a lot there. And then just blend this out. Now it looks crazy bright right now, but I am actually gonna wipe some of this off of this brush so that I can get it to blend out some more. There we go. Now, I'm sure you've heard other people tell you, don't ever put your concealer all the way up under your eye. Like, and so that's why I like to do the eyeshadow underneath my eye first, because it reminds me not to go all the way up there. So then just kind of swoop this up a little bit. I have to be really careful when I swoop it up, because if I try to do the hard line like most people do, it will make a divot right here because of how my bone comes out right there. I have super pronounced brow bones. And if I do that, we will end up with like a place right here that I'll have to replace my eyeshadow. So don't want to go that far. All right, I think we're good with that. All right, and then there's a little spot on my lip right here. I had injections just before COVID. I'd had the Restylane put in my lips. Well, I'm here to tell you, when it starts to come out, or wear down, or your body absorb it, whatever, it starts to look very strange. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with blush brush. I'm going to back blend so that I don't have these bright white circles under my eyes. Someday I'll pick up the right mirror the first time. Yeah. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. And I like to take a little bit of the blush. Most people do it with bronzer. I just like the whole blush, pinky, like, like sunburn look, I guess, to be like on my forehead a little bit, along my cheeks, my nose, and then I put a little dot on my chin. So this lighting makes it look awful. When I look in this mirror, it looks amazing. So I don't know what's up here. So I don't know, maybe I turn this off. It looks really pink. So we won't do that. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to use this this right here is such a cool, like, can you see how it's like silver? Love it. I'm gonna put that right on the center of the inner corner and on my lid here. So just to give it a little oomph, if you will. I can never get the left eye the same as the right. So I go back and do that. Okay. So little excess left on my finger. I'm going to put it like carefully, just very lightly down the center of my nose as like a highlighter, and across the top of my lip as a highlighter. I can't believe how weird it looks in this lighting. It just looks so bizarre. Okay, tone that down a bit. So I guess it's just like, I don't know. When I get closer, you can see, and I move back, and it's like I have these white, bright silver stripe, and just, I don't know, it's just bizarre. But when I get up here, it doesn't look that. Although, did you ever notice how your phone mirror or your phone camera, the forward or the forward facing one, makes you look like you have either a giant chin or a giant nose? Anyway, let me get back to this. Um, not I am not a tight liner or an eyeliner, period. But I just found this amazing stuff I as soon as I find it again. All right, glasses, where are you? I'm telling you, clear glasses, not a good thing. Never find them. All right. All right. So this is Wet n Wild's Chameleon Chrome Eyeliner in Cosmic Seeker. See how the sort of changes? I was like, that is so cool. I have to try it. Well, I did try it, and I loved it. And it's a fat eyeliner, so you could use it as a um, an actual eyeshadow if you wanted. But I'm using it the way it's intended. So I'm just going to go over that powder that I have under here and just put it under my eye. And then I am going to go across the top as well. Now I'm not going to tightline with it because it has that like glitter in it, and I'm afraid if I really like it tightlined like that, when I wear my contacts, it will interfere with them, and I don't want to be having to change up a habit. So there, makes my eye look a little more there. Um, I do not recommend when you're getting to be of a certain age to use really dark or black, harsh eyeliners. Now, if that's your thing, you do it. You do you. I just feel like for me, it makes me look very severe, and it really closes my eyes off. And when I wear my glasses, my eyes look huge no matter what because I am farsighted. So my glasses magnify my eyes ridiculously. So it's like everybody's looking at my eye makeup in a like 10x mirror, a super magnification mirror. So every little mistake I make, you can see it with my glasses on because everybody can see everything. So you'll see it'll take me quite a while to get this eyeliner just right because I don't want people looking at me going, oh, you've seen those people. You've seen those women who've like put on black kohl eyeliner and then it's all like jagged and you can't look away. You can't unsee it. And you just want to like smudge it for them and get it and fix it. Well, That's what I really have to pay attention to wearing my glasses, because everybody can see it, not just people who are in tune to that. So, put that back, and then I'm going to take my eyeliner, um, like the brush, and I'm just going to go over the top of it to make sure that it's blended out a bit so that I don't have that weird jagged look for somebody to look at and go, yep, she doesn't know what she's doing, or, oh, old lady with all the wrinkles on her eyelids. Okay. Next thing we're going to use eyelashes. Curl your eyelashes. If you don't do anything else, please curl your eyelashes, especially if you have deep set or hooded eyes, because it forces your eyelashes to go straight. Now, that being said, not only do I have to curl my eyelashes, I have to use a waterproof mascara. The waterproof holds the eyelashes in the curled position better than anything else will. I love tubing mascaras for the lengthening, but they just don't stay um, well enough for me to use to make sure that my eyelashes stay curled. I am using the Sky High waterproof in brownish black. I never use full on black. Again, I think it just makes me look too harsh. So I'm gonna go in and, ooh, I picked up the wrong magnifying mirror. Okay, that was like 20 times or something. I'm like, what am I looking at? So I'm just gonna go in and do my mascara. You guys all know how to put mascara on. I'm not gonna try and tell you any like tips or tricks or anything that I haven't already said. Waterproof mascara will hold your lashes in a curl better. But remember, you have to take it off the right way, because it will, if you just try and rub it off, it'll make your lashes break. So, okay. You notice too, I look down into my mirror to do my mascara, because you don't have to make too many of the weird faces, because then your cheeks are already out of the way. Curl the other side. I never curl them both at the same time, because if I do, there's too much of a chance that the second side will lose its curl before I'm ready. I just hit my corner of my eye with it. Best thing to do whenever you make a mistake with your mascara is to let it dry, and then take a spoolie and just flick it off. If I touch it right now while it's wet, I'll end up with this black stripe across my face, and it'll be even more difficult to get off without damaging the rest of the makeup. Let's flick this off of here. If I got any anywhere else. Yep, got some right there. I don't remember doing that. Okay. All right, so my concealer has had time to like settle. I can go back in now and make sure that I can press in where it has done its like creasing and pull up any excess. And so now it is time for the finishing powder. I've been wanting to try this pink powder, but I didn't want to go spend a whole bunch of money on a pink powder. Well, I found Wet n Wild has a bubblegum colored pink powder. So we are going to give this a shot. I even have a pink powder brush. It is a loose powder that a whole lot comes out. So I take some on my brush, put it in my lid, make a big cloud, and then I am just gonna go through. And you don't have to powder your whole face. I just like to do my under eyes, the center, and a little on the forehead. There. Looks pretty good. Okay. Finally, do a little lip gloss. Typically, if I were going to go glam, I would overline my lips and do all the things, but I'm not. This is just an everyday run around driving kids back and forth to their swim meet, championship, whatever. So I'm just going to put a little gloss on. This is City Lips Plumping Gloss. It is spicy. So if you've never used it before, just a heads up, you are going to feel the tingle. And the color I use is sparkling sparkling cider, not cedar. That would be green, right? Sparkling cider. So there is, let me get out of the light here a little bit so that it doesn't look so crazy. Ooh, that looks insane too. Here, let's get into some normal lighting that's not, there we go, that's in the natural light. I am a very pale girl, I will have to say that. But my eyes look incredibly blue. So now comes the pièce de résistance. Yes, I have hair, but I don't like doing my hair. I lost quite a bit of hair when I lost all the weight. It made my hair really thin just through here. So I started wearing wigs. Now it has become a thing. I know a lot of people who have plenty of hair that never had any issues. They wear wigs all the time because doing your hair takes however long it takes you to get this on your head. This is Jody by Raya from Shaquelle.com. Amanda does the videos for Shaquelle. She is amazing. She does have alopecia, so she started wearing wigs out of absolute necessity. I did it out of vanity and a bit of necessity, but mostly vanity. But I do it now because I'm done with my hair. And tell me this is not the cutest. This is like literally my favorite wig I've ever had. It is Raya, it's hair spelled backwards. That is their very own in-house line at chiquel.com. That's CHIQUEL.com. And let me tell you, this is so soft. It moves so naturally. Look at the hairline. If I didn't tell you this was a wig, you'd have not a clue. Same thing with the part. The scalp. And that, my lovelies, is, I gotta cover up the turkey neck, my finished makeup. And you can see the TV from the hotel room in the background. There we go. Um, that is the finished look. So, what do you think? I am going to wear this throughout the day and let you know how this holds up. I am really digging the finish. It's not feeling, I don't feel like I have a crap ton of makeup on my face, which, let's be honest, the Dior Backstage stick feels very heavy. It looks great, but it feels heavy. I don't feel anything. I am looking super airbrushed. That pink powder is amazing. And it's only wet, it's Wet and Wild. It's like $6 or something. But I'm gonna let you know how this wears throughout the day today. So we'll see if it separates, see if it oxidizes, see if it, you know, whatever. Usually within 20 minutes, I can tell if it's going to oxidize. It has oxidized just a smidge. So I would say maybe go with the cooler color if you're worried about the orangey look. I'm not getting orange out of it, but I can tell it has oxidized just a hair. But anyway, I will be back in probably about 10 hours to let you know. Thanks, guys.